yes, end of disrespect of Sehwi Wiawso. All right, so Niakwasui from demonstration Sehwi Wiawso Timemufo Omuye Detia Speaker of Parliament Adaya Enra Womrasibedwam Opamo MP for Sehwi Wiawso constituency ena emumranche ne mabawa ehye kojaya protect our democracy omo ye kabima amemunu omo ho ban youth stand up for Sehwi Wiawso. Okay, so practice kuda wo mu na youth united for justice ena muhu yen. All right, yemrefe na afi yemehye nkomo no asefa emamo na yekwa anim amakus afi de wo hunu ne mranche ye amanfo sese bi eninyina so e wo se karada NPP MPC o momra se bedwom na wo se enka fight for munua no muhu ni sei
initially na me just me that you see what parliament nemo you see the kwanza me a briefing kakra about maybe as a course of parliament or ma a member of parliament no acted that we na ma speaker and so working out mum de na me no kwani to be honest send e o penifo akese o parliament wa on betumi akan e vida kire speaker no dem zu se waso na nkomo ewura afenyo markings minim se o betumi na bebe e de abroso na nka enu anu mo fie ndi nka mo ahwe atoto na ma aye adwumaden o fie na de aboa because of say member of parliament na was Sehwi Wiawso minim so we strong betumi ni speaker etejina as a big lawyer kase as ne modua bibi se fata bi betumi achem da che speaker ndo se parliament o mu na so mutumi e kire ma dwen de che speaker ama motinta zo ko de speaker anza ne ma ye na bi akoso no ntwe because ewura achi mensa bonso ni so a on hear speaker so on fan trust and ewura afenyo marking on fan nancy form as a speaker bi na nya on twena dwen so na o mani hu na nka enu anamo ntena fi ko say enim so bi esi o parliament parliament for na sem no so no moka but o kasetia no mani tia Sehwi Wiawso for ndi ani o so mutumi demonstration ndi tia se bi obo mo nim tia but omo member of parliament mo mu na on speaker enya entawantawa so enu no mo parliament na majority member of parliament na so mo so etia ni speaker senior penifo bebe ho mo betima kan wasem de aboa ma party no so so bia o member of NPP ni mo na nka demonstration mo ye de mum de tumi ni de na ho hia say on be demonstration say ade bia o say ye de bo kro no a o say aban hwe no ye na aban ye ya makro no tu nchancha de na wo so tinta so ko de kire aban ana say speaker e kan bibi e de tie kro no ana say o man na okro no de a o say kro no nyina so ye demonstration so mo de tie so obu kro no enim tia but member of parliament no matter about man say bia akoso parliament or na say entwe dia o say enu no onu no aka no na sorry ejina na chi man no speaker on say bia obu papa no so enim tia nye omo matter about man no mu na o say omo no ye demonstration okro no okay ya because say ewura yoje mu nyina no obofour
a tutu ke ija nko beko
ankonko omu nyina obofour a ase omo keka omadwen de kire ndi mean say bia omo ya kwese o classroom ne bia emphasize akora bibi na headmaster de bi pia bonten ebia na ebia koso ebi o ya de bia na ninje hono so kepie but ebia echi no betima settle but e demonstration say ebia o speaker ama member of parliament epie pia bonten wa bra bia omunim asemu anazo omunim ne si ya omuzum to bo mato ba man ndi no mo kwa demonstration atana echi ya demonstration no o ya emphasize ko say cause parliament omunim yo nuanom e kam say ne si ya kwa na echi no ebi o matana say settle but what for demonstration baba demonstration fa hemre kuro no
I see but o hwe enche chino ba me hu ne ekoso parliament for the past 2 weeks ya mo resume ye ni ade no am say omu nko parliament sa o am na na kuro mu resume floor say omu ma after say mo ye mo parliamentary primacy we ya mo na luso mu sit ni ade no I say both NDC for mu luso ye and then before Mulusi, as a parliament, no more than you would. As a new business than say, Umeko parliament. Seriousness behind what I'm saying this time. You know, now I'm saying one also says election time, they do something. And yet, I want to full house because we be Jumedi, our Makodibu,
Fagbera call in Pesuaso.
Also, can say Moody Doctor about me, Parliament.
Or Nina can be also honum. Then my power, my actual coincidence, no, or Danny did the chrom, call up to your Vasako election view, and also Odi, the Fagbera, both NPP and this in Nina, and Tino, another. Do time say the answer Sanya, but do serious business there. Also, Munya, no from Munya, no Conum Coco, but you know, maybe answer my sign. I go back and from now to December, I'm say, see, Anna, yes,
and this is for Parliament. And you Munkumana should down in a bachelor. Then I'll catch you.
America comes on Uncle. Now, Uncle Parliament, and I didn't talk about them out. Send this for Uncle Parliament now, media budget review, no man can go to they are buying day, but maybe a movie can find my car for Hondia. That's all corporation on one of us will be normal. By name, dear Savior, by say, Finance Minister Beko, and Umusuberia, but as me monitor grants, and the same should be no. Okay, and then I can be more officer or bar on Beko. So, man called there, and the man called an ocean about can be that trouble. Now, of course, any anchor, ever can't drink that trouble for, but the Indian who didn't know. You can't afford the money who's any or man cry and Sunday over your car comes there. Can't see here? That's a foreign economy to another and I can't go. I see. All right, yes, but I'm going to the more Parliament House. You did 2 screens, some who proceedings here. So, Umuche say the finance minister mid-year budget review. I feel watches here attack. You queen him near Wayachi, near Bino, Waye, near what anymore, Baby, and she say wono twen say the brain ahead of the show. So Parliament House in the screen this amount. Jesse?
Mamenka Sehwi Wiawso SMPP. No credit I mean himself probably my view is a bit different from me and Kakra. The President of the Republic is demonstrated still. The President of the Republic. He demonstrated channel. How much more the Speaker of the Parliament? Yes, the Speaker has its rights, or on the right, or the Parliament of Ghana, okay, or right to, administer more proceedings across our Parliament. Also, a neutral person, as it's supposed to be. And look at me, and run near caution. Now, I listened to the reason for the agitation of Sehwi Wiawso NPP. On the hour can say, Ose, enkomobia Parliament Speaker, on Supreme Court judges, any ceiling, was say the number of justices omubetinya akọ Supreme Court one. Because man another for the appointed 2 more Supreme Court justices are omoko ayaji omo atum. And he was announcing, the Speaker was announcing. Now in announcing no clarity a president at the buy no and no uchim was say 1. Already no speakers are justices of more Supreme Court no emu Andrew Bakwa equal retirement dada. Now Bakwa so is almost due for retirement, almost say August Moses say. And on my end say those justices need to be replaced. And rightly so, it was supposed to be the case. So president in consultation with Council of Elders, okay, Council of State, sorry, Council of States, and those 2 additional appointments, and those 2 additional appointments, are to be announced. But Speaker, in announcing that, maybe I say, oh, dear course, to say he was then saying say they as parliament have to enact an ally or a law a bit determine the number of judges or justices omubetimi atra ewo ayi na nkoba say bi ababro so sometime and I say so then the learned Sehwi Wiawso MP also a lawyer, and I know him to be also a senior lawyer. On Aban almost at the same time. I can say no. That statement that Speaker Eka is prejudicial, and he cannot sit and not draw the speaker's attention. And the speaker say that authority is clothed by, from the constitution to him. That is the constitution have given that authority. And he, no, Sehwi Wiawso MP cannot tell him. And see the man on the TV. And I make us say, no. He is part of parliament. He is a speaker. He is representing the good people of Sehwi Wiawso. Obawa anya at the beg and call of the speaker. Until Wabaho. It is speaker Bedia Tuma. It is these members of parliament and they elect you. Okay? It is what authority? Do you clothe? Other than being the speaker, they appoint you. They appoint you. If they appoint you after they have been elected by, they also go into election. They said they go 137, no more elected between the old speaker of parliament, Michael Kwene, Abambabin, Ewini. Omu election omu it is after Yaje or Matum. And the speaker Krapune, I swear omu ino. It is the clerk of parliament. Mom na swear omu in. The clerk of parliament na swear omu in anyway. Ami aju omatum as substantive MPs no. And send amaku back to the ballot. Okay? And the name of you speaker should calm down. You are all colleagues. Having the marshal to walk him out is like you telling the whole of Sehwi Wiawso people to get out of Ghana.
Also, no representing.
They say,
MP so representing Sehwi Wiawso for so handy.
Also, no representing.
Sehwi Wiawso MP no representing.
No, speakers also representing Ghana. Or representing
Ghana. And Oko Parliament say on the president.
Okay. And no, I come. Me say constitution, I stand to be corrected. But they have been now in the middle of their casa there. Okay, speaker, per the match should know say the good people of Sehwi Wiawso and they go for election. I could hear a more representative one. I'm a clerk of parliament. I only tenure. I know they just work on retirement. Well, this January 6th year, next year, okay? Na so amupa, na so amuyaji omutumu, no amuko elected se, wo be the speaker of parliament. The views of Sehwi Wiawso that are no MP no, aneba. And how then do you rubbish a whole constituency MP because we say we are representative of Ghana or parliament? Please. Can the president say, sir, because I am the representative and the gentleman of the number one gentleman of the land say, or no, I can say, even a whole constituency, won't you, myself? When you are the representative of Ghana, Ghana minus Sehwi Wiawso cannot be composed as Ghana. And I bet make a Ghana is Sehwi Wiawso for everyone. Don't they deserve to be heard? sometimes be why are so fantastic in administration of parliament, allowing some laws to be passed, be autocratic. Let me also say, as May, we have been able to say through up to now. Although maybe who say the worst form of parliament, this 137, 137. Regardless of the laws they are passing. It's not gonna afford him say 137, 137, and what we did to Nanado, they say we did not allow him the free will, no person the Ghana call the name no uncle so sir to be stifled process and Nanado benya free large kakra. Okay, every area near matter said the the first a larger majority, you were able to do a lot of things.
Okay.
And from 1992 up to date, you can correct me if I'm wrong. This is the only parliament in Kenya, almost a French state parliament, with 137, 137. And that is the only type of parliament, election of a speaker. That is the only time. In the 1992 constitution, starting 1992, the fourth president, Republic there. Omunkwana just Omaide. What that is, maybe we want to welcome a minimum say sanction or the man. I don't know whether it translates to NSO. Because you can't say you count the budget of a year. The Republic in the media budget review till the end of the year until say November the crable till November, let's say to November the interim one day everybody you can't say you can't allow him to go to parliament.
All right.
And now just for you to show say who to mintina Omar, I mean, it was very, very distasteful, and I'm not sure say your democracy. That decision by the speaker is a spit in the face of our democracy. And that's why you be democracy. Now see how the democracy survey by Ghana. You try almost 86%. Yeah, ahead of almost African countries. Why you seek a democracy and affront to a friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's it. Nana Keja see no one a brighter man kwana away. Minimum a show no. So young call the Parliament House. Na young here ni free one muso banafi medi hunko mumabo.
The speaker. Honorable member, I think you should be talking to your leadership. Because they are guiding the speaker as to which item to call first.
I understand that.
Yes, so that is what I'm saying. In view of what is happening, please, honorable members, would defer delaying, not stand down, would defer delaying of that item. And this is in reference to item X, 8X, at page 15 of the order paper. Then we can now proceed to the major of the day. I agree with the Honorable Minister for Trade and Industry. Honorable members, item 6 page 2 of the original order paper. Statements. Mid-year review of the budget statement and economic policy of the government of Ghana for the year, for the 2024 financial year. Minister for Finance.
Honorable members of Parliament, on the authority of His Excellency President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, I present to you the mid-year fiscal policy review of the budget statement and economic policy of the government of Ghana for the 2024 financial year. The mid-year fiscal policy review presentation is in fulfillment of Section 28 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016 at 921. Mr. Speaker, this statement is an abridged version of the mid-year fiscal policy review of the budget statement and economic policy for the 2024 financial year. I respectfully request that the entire mid-year fiscal policy be captured in the Hansard. Mr. Speaker, I want to begin this mid-year policy review by expressing my gratitude to His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, for appointing me to serve as the Finance Minister, especially at this critical time in our nation's history. It is such an honor and privilege to serve in this capacity, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. As the Member of Parliament for Karaga and one of your own, I wish to also express my profound appreciation to you, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, for the immense support I have received since I assumed office as Minister for Finance. I will continue to rely on the full cooperation of the House as we work together to serve our country. Growing up as a young boy in a Babu family, it never crossed my mind that I would one day stand before you to address this august house. Indeed, the young people out there should therefore know that, especially especially those sitting in public gallery, that it is possible with hard work. It is possible with hard work, dedication, and by the grace of God, all of you have limitless opportunities to serve our country. Mr. Speaker, the last 2 years have been extremely challenging globally, and Ghana has not been an exception. A difficult economic environment has truly affected businesses and families, particularly the vulnerable in our society. These challenges have severely affected households, increased cost of living, and limited the creation of job opportunities. Our young people continue to seek employment opportunities beyond what the state can provide. Mr. Speaker, it has indeed been a difficult time, and I deeply empathize with our fellow Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, over the last 2 years, the government has embarked on a number of decisive measures to get us back on the path of fiscal consolidation, economic stability, and growth. And I'm happy to note that these policies we have implemented are yielding the expected results. Growth continues to exceed our expectations. The 4.7% growth rate reported by the Ghana Statistical Service for the first quarter 2024 exceeds the 3.1% recorded in the same period in 2023. Inflation is declining. End June inflation rate of 22.8%, a reduction of 31 percentage points from the December 2022, which confirms the target of 15% by end 2024 is possible. Exchange rate has largely stabilized compared to December 2022, despite the recent pressures. The 18.6% depreciation rate to the US dollar as of June 2024 represents an improvement over the 22% recorded for the same period last year. The gross international reserves reached 3.1 months of import cover as at end June 2024, against 2.5 months of import cover in the same period last year. Mr. Speaker, it is evident that we are on the right trajectory. The economy is rebounding stronger than anticipated. The choices we've made and the policies we are implementing are yielding results. We've reversed the negative trends. All the indicators are looking better. I want to assure you that we will stay on this path and continue to make the right choices. Our economy is recovering, and the recovery is fast and strong. Mr. Speaker, over the last 6 months, bring some urgency and speed to the implementation of key government programs, and also swiftly provided the necessary support for growth-enhancing initiatives. I'm again happy to inform this august House that with the support of His Excellency the President, Cabinet, and all stakeholders, we have successfully concluded the second review of our extended credit facility with the International Monetary Fund.
Regional communication team of NPP.
I mean, what we are expecting from the media budget. I like Fugu Kama na any the regular white we used to know, but now it is another modern Fugu managing. But no credit. What we are expecting from the media budget review is measures are buying Eddie Guakwemu for us to have economic growth are projected from the beginning of the year. What we are also expecting again, and the measures are they better the high speed of the dollar. Na no credit meaning the city so to me it be actually to be say measures are the go akwa man they IMF they restore the economy back to normalcy. My the austere measures be by a friend say debt there are other reliefs are bit to say a car ye there che in terms of quantification almost a car ye de che ye weapon of crack it's due of almost $4.7 billion ye de che crack bisu o Ghana ya locally it mean 200 billion of our debt forgiven. No restructured. Yeah, did you know? Yeah, a friend say the depositors are now musica ewo bank na se for ne other bonds no. Omo etibi atwe omo siketua na e was aban tua mo no akwachi. Nti amayen some relief aban betimi eno abo emo busia kakra ena said America no your bilateral companies be bilateral friends institutions be omo Europe omo so ede sebioson sika titri di ebesha economy na eno say in excess of $2 to $3 billion and sana African Development Bank so an agreement no omo pese omo di sika be share economy ma no omo chain IMF deal to go through now IMF okay in that deal means that they also have to go on with the injection of that capital. World Bank so now or chain IMF negotiation the final talks will say about completing now also so the investment and to kaya project be installed our Ashanti region here and then I can share video with you and then what for more video where me and me try and na do me bedru must a friend say enumere ko obuase koje aduru bi na me buy me bedru enumere na me be fa no the live feeder me hu ni say yes so me interchange live and colored and adu nyina omo ye aduma our roundabout na matter one omo erect pillars gidigidi ade hu fidi abegu ho me am say posted that video no on Facebook. I have first hand information me am report to me who say this is a good news Asante region. Okay, a project be an Asante region store here. Mother and baby unit now, yes, you know. Our contractor now, including a airport and a KJT, a phase 2, a central marketer, and now the Kufado is almost about times 2 of the phase 1. And no, you know, stole here because of this debt exchange program. And because in Timilo can say, Omun, you know, Ababaka, Omuya Juma, with you contractor no what mother and baby in it to say, they are giving timelines within this year, or maybe hand over that facility for a use and a central market in here. And this is welcoming news, the and you say a finance minister a measure set a before on how or mobile tighten the security of the released dollars never system no more. The month once I'm got to NCA and holiday. Now a friend say mom says can you grab from say for the recognized institutions now. For forest bureaus no bureaus for no so dealings are sikabe comes and no mum I call black markets but market now price in here there so Bank of Ghana I've tried so bad tightening security kakran. What happens is that what timia 2 forest bureaus are not more yes almost about 2 or 4 bureaus are no more start practicing beer why we don't do more licenses. Sa security sa heightened security I was a cost no more just say sika rate no more day one or more day my forest bureau no or more ton about the normal measure or more monitor amount of dollars or more receipts. Said the way meeting me out the here who say sika na bi ko baby and say e bi anyele uncle baby because you need this certain measures be was say ba me dem say you draw enyo e bi at this time be you say political season ti ni kwan say measures say kamele meka some of the black markets no either say e be regulate you more among licenses near fixed price among what say omo conform to say the bureaus no I confirm it and yes sir you be good no cry obesi kotoka right on your nose and cha wana ubedu ani abo yansa no say see kotoka airport wana obesi kumasi na fa alaba so dey say no ofa ti ida see you be regulate you mo je ni you be more proper license you year I catch them say Sebia son Sebia brew amount now money to so no travel bo or money determine speed I was $1 no and only sane ma bia ye be say finance minister no and the Bank of Ghana e bit me bo na economic growth na ye permanent say we are projected to grow higher than even what the African economy has been projected to grow. The media report before you know, say we are on course more than 2.7% GDP. By the end of the year, the Betimenia almost be 3.8 na target.
I see. Me that say Nana Kejes no but before say na the moko parliamentarians me can say your monitor grounds no na koye NPP MPs no kwa na majority ye hu NDC MPs ni bia obet ye nim nti a afedio no mo twa se obeba anse no mako ana se ejere trigger nti a ye hu omo no plus to the minority se o mako join ni onuanum na abaso bode na wo se adibo mu amana really se te hu se yenko
indeed
na manko ne mo mabaso
ana meda wase na mada minua keja sinso ase enu na mene ajame boss na edin komo se ko nu sa sana region na ya ha ba ko
boss no ha so bia ni mo boss
ewura na po di asane jene ne ya ha kase ba ko e kajitia phase 2 na NPP aban ye di aboa asanteman punto ne nkoso no tina edimu nkomo awo ne nim se sa debt exchange no ana na ama Ghana for no na omo toto board no so na omo mpre nti ye ma for na se ta amukuru omo ma info so omo mpre de na ya de be na omo twa se Ghana for no be accept ndi no na edi ngoro kam se afede Ghana for na ta se omo enhwe nko chi ntwe ma asa na ma bro so accept to that no ne nim se kejitia ene so amita je ne sa contract akase na aka no konfirmation de no mbe nti no an se na enyina ne gisem ndi to that ma ehun ni a ne ma o se nti ma sa media review budget ya omo yi na se no no bem dia na ma NPP for ne Asantman and that was say with me we kejitia phase 2 no ama abo ama Asantman so am so ita je na me nua kejitia kan wa se me de kura me ko mo ho yi eni omugusu gidigidi enya asem ketwa it means say omo wo nya so omo ye dwumade ndia aboa ama Asantman so afa ntuma pefra because na menu ko ni ko ka akwan ne enuma pa NPP aban abode aboa Asantman de na say entumi nka uye NPP aban firi on ma aban be no betima aboa Asantman sania ana ku fo ne yewura mamud bawumia e de aboy ndi yesre enuma ne ma am say yemfa akoma pa na odonta NPP achi na yemwa na obi betima sesa Asantman a na NPP aban betima sesa Asantman inu no mranti o mokasa o menu mo eden o mu se o menu mo eden ne se NPP aban na betima ede abo o man Ghana ho biom yewura John Dramani Mahama wa ba betena akonwa so wabedi wadi assemblyman abedi abeye vice president wabeye minister ni also o yede bo o man Ghana bia no aye ababedi wabeye president 6 months atwa 4 years asaso yenim adwuma o yede bo o man Ghana ene baby o feliye as a president yewura Mahmoud Bawumia so di ye papa Nana Akufo-Addo achi ye de ko ehunu ene mapa wa as a vice president endi ye boaro ne epenti kwa enim se ene makese na ohwe adwen o papa ne tim and se o de mo man Ghana se o pese o man Ghana so eyese amorane a ohwe degradation ya dia be ya nei ama an esesa no ebe kaka ye hu so obi frodo obi ananso obi kura no kwa wi obi sika o na account mu se ne atesnet ye no endi emfa akomapa ene odon fa nta yewura Mahmoud Bawumia achi eni yewura na ponzo so ye nyina emfa mpa abonta na chi ye papa no so na ni so ade hu ene no kore kan na kokodo ekita no ene boa zero si do onipa no emfa za akomapa na nta o mochi enim se o manga na be fa nto abefra ama san ma fa nto abefra na ama obi anzo enho aton se o man se bi amanyo ne yeye enye ndokwa we chira dinu ya twona adwen ndi nyina emfa odo ne emfa nta bi pechi ne moa na ne mapa na Nana Akufo-Addo ne yewura Mahmoud Bawumia ye no yanto o so na o manga na so emfa nto abefra ananze
so minority dia na make so den aka chiro mu
me bo ma baso da o ma so mako se bo man kwa awie ka nyambo chen ba so power ndo mako no de no se e bo ma so mako ama bibie kama nti ne be fi ba no be bia no mo wie na be o monti ase no mo ba be no mo be bisa ne a checho mo kama ano ne e ka so mo opposition a o mo ma e tofa o mo aso mo gina eso na nso so so ye nyuma pa eso da bo man Ghana no me se yenko de a ene ne nka okugin no be kan bia no ene yo na kwa so no ko nti ye bo ma ba so o mo tumi ako.
Okay, so I say you say yeah, venture the swami interchange. About to screen this damn. So Amakus, I say you say Kejetia phase 2 NPP aban yi. Any swami interchange, Mobasi road, any other projects. Say yami adom na bia mo timi anwie kura na mo timi commission phase 2 Kejetia da mo vote be increase na say mo timi anwie kura esobeti.
Anansi yantuma nwie kwa na
no bia bosha mo de share Asantman.
Anansi yantuma nwie kwa na Asantman nim na mapa NPP aban ye de abo Asantman. Yantuma nwie kwa na ebotu so nte. Ana ewie so a ebotu no kwa ndisi for de ba be ka ho. Because of say na enyina kwa no. Ise yanwie kwa na ye jo mbotu ne bi de aka ho. Mo hu ne mapa NPP aban ba ye de abo Asantman. Sabi na eneme bebe na wo chiri ntine bi no mu hu no. Wo hwe park yo moye no former sports minister ekrom hoyi asiama
nyina
hini o ka che obi kro ma say ya stadium wo ko say ana ye hu no o hwe kwada so ha say movie for e dey o mo siam creative arts for school o hwe body KNUST hospital ka slia president of Fosha say one man bi ba wi obi hu no ndi nyuma NPP aban ye no de also you say ya etini na yetimi hu bia e ka kira manfo enti ne mapa NPP ban ye no say ye wie ka na wo mfa wo city nim na obi ani tua no a
yeah so we so me na me desk screen so mo fanche jasina na de the phone de go twae na minimum for skani ewusu a enti im say why ewusu say no ke say light no na say wo phone na powerful enti say timi ma lighting ba ho nyina skani pa na phone ni etu say
ana na ko o ma so light wo chiri dia ke benya na kre
me sure say me people to phone
sana ko ma so light wo no wo chiri dia no ko benya na ke on me esu mu dia na phone ntumi ba to and who say
me phone na ama we be when you grab one be
tell you man e koso
we yes so I'm run about the TV
now from
who drew go for more no so a we say interchange no back go from traffic light
okay
yes so I'm interchange no Montias a 40 interchange
okay
I will run about the TV I copy me be a more no be no most
matter for more be
I could do Santa Mai or a state experimental one. I could do 4 interchange or 5 interchange. I knew a single lane. Our baby Brahma Junction, Ura Brahma, Marco, Anomani, Abrapo Junction, Anna, Ayapro.
and yes
Ah,
it
is our project. We
say,
and young people in the bed me at was what. Now for 2 man and Nado, for 2 about FSA, Domahama. 1 to a map about Mia. I know the about us because let me state on authority here.
so for like
NDC Antwa any project on my panic for. I was anti region. And yet, sir, projects our man penny or mobile to ye, no man penny for. I started. Me no casa a room pump so now what you musica. No getting a enemy. None of it no motivate. Okay, affordable housing. Ken Wesley Hospital, 800 bed. Nay, teaching hospital, and then the College of Health, building a level. Ken Wesley, a friend say, a more offside Obuasi campus. And then can see a twasso. Oko a year KSTU, a more off campus. And then can also almost started on me. Oko a year after the Eurojet projects. And Nanka Ashanti region, ye mukra, ye mubese, and I also in Sia. All these projects. Me no can say a hospital na na dan kwa kufado I started a year obetimi abo a year 5 or 6 hospitals 6 in case 1 ye was abronu twede mason kwanta yes those vermed projects na 5 bako swame anomanye ni na unique designs are we have make my for the pictures there ma all of them are across the country Ashanti region kwa 5 we are answer the fresh Kumasi police hospital I want police depot aye we fa baby o mesi PMMC for a diner a quadra so estate branch a hospital then we share. It was initially a 68 bed hospital and a year engineering money to accommodate a 120 bed. Said the 120 bed hospital. Sa hospital is just waiting for completion first commissioning. Ebe commission sa hospitals we na abuma. This is the project about na the na do back to here obampani kufuo na start here NDC for nka omunye even NDC for the almost start here kra yenim say for me na ne kumawu till use the money 175 ama a friend say metodunu aka wasem me dem friend say e be chon say NDC member I can say omusu $175 million na ka e wo so omode ekọ into hospital projects no omode ko ye visibility omo ka kire say omode ye visibility studies omo so baby wo Ghana half and then mo omode betimi ayede esi sa hospitals be kuma woni for men de no ewo questionnaires omode ko ya de ne ko da no moto ekoyi omoto say in the questionnaires omode ko omo busa timanfo no interview omo say why no mba to abama ahead of 2016 election. How does that build a hospital? Amuna investigation be say no more de yes severe omo person omo say John Dramani Mahama be wini 2016 and that's all yini. And this record breaks me heart say be Ghana ni na say me wo kumawu o kai say kumawu na kumawu amane say any mabru aye demonstration tia and people the name say yen the project no. Now do have to go and look for new money to complete a year. I say, come on, for me now. Some of the so a better year, and then the old age project, and then this is start here. And also, baby, Tapa Hospital, my neck I project no, Yababi, Oko a year, a friend say, Konongo, and also a system bed, we are commission, Tapa, we are commission. Maybe I make it Kenya no ye aya commission and some of the young commission bit say a year Sehwi Afari military hospital Sehwi regional hospital near Afari military hospital and there are a host of others are here intimate commission and no I waiting for commission now the ama Sehwi near Afari akamuso so there me sure say citizen journalist like and answer only bad maker aya akwanya eko se ya wonu se na aya atonsu kwan no ene du se wi junction no wa branch o ma ye de ko second SIA aya bulk supply point ab even BSP enu ye dia ma aya hospital no se de be ya asese awefo enka ne aduma enko afete aya hospital no the same thing ya ba be ya ma konfanoche udru konfanoche Utra culture center na sa run about kakra na ewo yes that is the plan. The same thing applies to the regional hospital, okay, the military hospital. All these box supply points about more so be a bit to me a proper service was at the man for them maker offer interchange on record NDC and started a single interchange in Washington region. Over nationwide, NDC a interchange since almost 27 years in power in a Makumako 5. Yeah, MPP in our 16 years in power no. Yeah, Makumako 12 and counting. So I'm dealing with getting now on so count 5 now me can and what so I'm interchanging 40 and count and so now when him say there's plans to build another junction there but don't want to be la money because you know say those hospital those interchanges no a gateway back to the north and back to the south they call Accra.
All right,
another junction call Accra and that's why me call some part of the Bono is in the other part. Okay. And to long been and free embassy cost the southern part.
Okay.
So what's about year and send about quiet day. Akoso and into the man, the adjoining roads a won't said the bayer and fat traffic, even from here and no cost from me. Now I'm for one shot traffic I'll be this there. Traffic I'll be this slow. And so I'm a magazine for no, and him say it is for the greater good. Okay. You know, Marka Sans and Munina Matias. You know, one person say they want to see work ongoing. To me, the minimum. Say, unless you will be a mechanic, more for be you you know, and this if we be if you only John Dramani, almost start your appointment in aye. Why would if you know when you to Abama or Muno or starting your appointment? Now, Anna say, people say, make us Mama a crime banker. Yes, John Dramani Mahama. Me I say, Enka Ubi a ba the second come here. Oh, yenim sa. But eba eye yakonya eye presidency city there. Ka ba second come here. Ke dia ho brasie, ye de no kredie. Ah, aneba. How can John Dramani Mahama look in the eyes of all Ghanaians? 1 million Ghanaians are here doing quite, you know, quite, from top to down. You from free the opposite side. I catch you say free SHS no one at the buy. Now we say anaduma seven no. I jena no poku. Ajuma ne be dey chire. And I started to do I piano. I catch papa the trima. Ono so afan te say cap na na kuta no. Baby obedu bia no ono. Baby obedu. And I say yensi chi. You say enchire eye Ghana for. Say your records Kasa Emperor. Kasa Emperor. But your records are actually say 1. John Dramani Mahama in a year Monday 27th November 2017 on Ghana Web and Peace FM online. Or say free SHS, I will reverse it. John Dramani Mahama hints. John Dramani Mahama is on record. Say a free SHS is bogus. John Dramani Mahama is on record. I catch a Ghana for say free SHS will collapse. John Dramani Mahama is on record. I say a sponsor with state money. Kokubako neka nyame. Kokubako was it who pencil we are in power in 2012. He used state money ahead of the campaign. State money to sponsor adverts against free SHS. In demonstration amoye say for one na the twam say you implement it anywhere no you beka ye say senanado baby ayadri so 2 billion Ghana cedis na yamfa kwa education ma odi ni nyina beko free SHS mo ti no kra ni nyame ni so wo sorry upon all these rhetorics now because I started progressive.
All right.
Na kwa me kromo start ma unya bi akoye. Wonu si didi na buy. So please,
okay.
Then you say free SHS a year benefits is say no. And another time Kufuado. Let Dr. Muhammad Bamias. The Ghana for say a year ahead of 2024 December general elections we there. A year election to determine our future, an election to determine the progress of Ghana, an election to determine say we are see kaya corner kono jay ye beti mi akoto omo ana. Either say what ye beko yenchi and answer what ye beko yenim. Na we nim say John Dramani Mahama de ochi. Na ye chi so de
all right. Mina ye ko den abeka twato.
Me da me ase waka ni nyina. Ma we say the mini bibia ya say na media bata dribu ya na efi ma bibia nyame ya dum channel eba na abetrans na abe pense ni ahwe o manga na nkankro abem so de man fanchi ama mabrewa eno odisi poku ebi obi ya no mechia o nyame ya dum channel eba na ba be hwe o ne me de wa won sete amen fanchi akoma kanin kono hena na amya kwabra amya da second ene obapa echa kanin kono ba chairman the Council Executive Pulling Session Executive na ne tima mfo nyina ahemfo nyina no me cha obi bia anase
all right
me papa je usu siam no gase na me cha mampo hene ono onte kokos what service mampo dishikonkro ene echawe mr na weekend ye bebe yi adama.
All right, maminya birthday wish na yen sorry so na yen ko yen name. Happy birthday to you, Samuel Asare. And then wawoda maybe Asare say or we show happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Mclean Ofori. Obame Mary Opoku Yawenes say Oda Nyankopon ase so dim fie ba kwa kan fie ho woni juma bia juma ho nyame moa na dachi bia nyini na so beye maame Mclean Ofori Ness. Happy birthday to you. All right, your fancy me say ne Ghana nyina wo Parliament House. Na mamena chino kwabna ase nyame boa ochina yebesan any mo hye yakramo.
Pillars that have been erected at Berman Junction, Macro, and Manye is currently now right in the middle of the Swami roundabout itself. And these are the accoutrements or the equipment that they are using for the construction. And I'm giving you our live pictures. So you can see in the middle of the Swami roundabout itself, work is progressing steadily at Swami interchange construction. Pillars that have been erected at
Committee for consideration and report to the House. Please, you have to apply the new standing orders in this matter. But in giving you the information, I've given you an idea of the expectations of the people of Ghana. That is for you to consider as part of the reports, and for the House to decide as to whether we will approve or disapprove those nominations. His Excellency clearly stated that he is constitutionally injuncted to do what he has done. And so it's now for you to also look at. Honorable Member, you want to speak? If you want, I will grant you the opportunity. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, with all due respect to your chair, these preliminary remarks you are making are prejudicial, and I believe that as representing the good people of Sehwi Wiawso, it doesn't lie in your mouth to remind us of the things that you said. Thank you.
This is a completely rude remark, and I can send you out of the House now. It lies in my authority to do so. You represent the good people of Sehwi Wiawso. I represent the whole country. Please, my child, take him out of the House.
The overall deficit target was 6.4% of GDP. Overall budget deficit on commitment basis was 31.5 billion Ghana cedis, 3.7% of GDP, compared to the mid-year budget target of 49 billion Ghana cedis, 5.7% of GDP. Primary balance on commitment basis was a deficit of 2.2 billion Ghana cedis, 0.3% of GDP, which was an improvement over the deficit target of 4.1 billion Ghana cedis, 0.5% of GDP, and a significant improvement from the deficit 4.3% of GDP recorded in 2022. The overall budget balance on cash basis was a deficit of 28 billion Ghana cedis, 3.3% of GDP, which is much lower than the target of 55 billion Ghana cedis, 6.4% of GDP, and down from a deficit of 10.6% of GDP recorded in 2022. Primary balance on cash basis was a surplus of 1.4 billion Ghana cedis, 0.2% of GDP, which is an improvement compared to the deficit target of 10.1 billion Ghana cedis, that is 1.2% of GDP, and the deficit 3.2% of GDP recorded in 2022. Mr. Speaker, provisional data on government fiscal operations for the first half of 2024 indicates that revenue mobilization and expenditure execution were broadly in line with the target, resulting in an overall budget deficit on commitment basis of 21.3 billion Ghana cedis. This corresponding primary balance on commitment basis was a deficit of 2.3 billion Ghana cedis, that is 0.2% of GDP, compared to the deficit target of 2.4 billion Ghana cedis, also 0.2% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, the overall cash budget deficit was 36.1 billion Ghana cedis, 3.4% of GDP, compared with the deficit target of 35.2 billion Ghana cedis, 3.3% of GDP. The corresponding primary balance on cash basis was a deficit of 17.1 billion Ghana cedis, 1.6% of GDP, compared with the period target of 8.8 billion Ghana cedis, 0.8% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, total revenue and grants for the first half of 2024 amounted to 74.7 billion Ghana cedis, 1.9% below the target of 76.1 billion Ghana cedis. Despite the shortfalls, the outturn shows a nominal year-on-year growth of 24.6% and constitutes 42.3% of the budget's total revenue for the year. The revenue performance was mainly driven by the strong performance in non-oil tax revenue and non-oil non-tax revenue, which partly offset the shortfalls in oil receipts for the period. Mr. Speaker, total expenditures commitment amounted to 95 billion Ghana cedis, below the budget target of 104.8 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, as at end December 2023, the provisional central government and guaranteed debt in nominal terms was 608.4 billion Ghana cedis. This was made up of 351.1 billion Ghana cedis and 257.2 billion Ghana cedis for external and domestic debt, respectively. Mr. Speaker, the provisional total central government debt as at end June 2024 stood at 742 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent to 70.6% of GDP. This indicates an increase of 22% due to the effect of the cedi depreciation and disbursements from creditors. The stock consists of external debt of 452 billion Ghana cedis and domestic debt of 290 billion Ghana cedis, representing 60.9% and 39.1% of the total debt stock, respectively. As a percentage of GDP, external and domestic debt represented 43% and 27.6%, respectively. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's medium-term macroeconomic and financial outlook and prospects remain positive and favorable, despite the challenging global environment. The ongoing improvement in the implementation of the post-COVID-19 program for economic growth reinforces our commitment to navigate through global uncertainties and address domestic challenges. Government's unwavering dedication to maintaining macroeconomic stability, promoting investment, and enhancing social protection programs continues to re-echo our objective of building back better. Mr. Speaker, it has become necessary to revise the 2024 macroeconomic framework due to recent domestic and global economic developments, including the impact of the debt restructuring. Mr. Speaker, key revisions to the macro fiscal targets for 2024 include overall real GDP growth rate revised upwards from 2.8% to 3.1%. Non-oil real GDP growth rate is revised upwards from 2.1% to 2.8%. Growth in GDP deflator scaled down from 20.2% to 17.5%. Nominal overall GDP has been revised from 1.050 billion Ghana cedis, that is 1 trillion Ghana cedis, to 1.020 billion Ghana cedis.